I'm installing a new floor where carpet once was with reclaimed 1x4 redwood. The stuff is gorgeous if you like this kind of look. I'm herringbone pattern the corners. You can see this. I got some 45 miters. Maybe some more 45s. 90-degree. Now if you're doing this reclaimed wood flooring, give yourself about double the amount of time to install it, because this particular wood was milled 1848. The equipment they had at the time was not the best in the world. Plus, the time you tear it out, you have a lot of mismilled edges. This stuff happens to be tongue and groove. Anyway, a lot of extra work. If you're going to buy this stuff pre-made, or in other words, pre-milled, somebody pulled it apart, remilled it, you're going to spend probably between $10 and $15 a board foot. I did this myself. This wood came out of a house built in 1848 in the Santa Cruz, California area. Piece of history. California is not that old. Back east, you folks have stuff that was done 300-400 years ago. Out here in California, this is an ancient piece of history. Anyway, so I run a border around here that I'm going to fill it in with stuff with just a straight run. Your equipment, the specialized equipment you're going to need is a chop box. Here I have a sliding compound miter box. 18 gauge pin nailer. I nail through the tongue of this and occasionally the face nailing. With a face nail, it's so small, here's a little close up, that it takes either a teeny amount of putty or no putty at all. This floor, because there's so many voids and blemishes, if you want to call them that. Like, I personally like this kind of stuff. I don't want to fill that. I'm just going to knock down the edges, any little high edges I have, and just put a coat of clear finish on it. You'll notice I've got some liquid nails here, i.e. construction adhesive, and I use that stuff under every course just because, again, the milling on this stuff is suspect. This wood particularly is very soft, and I'm not counting on the nails to hold it down in place while it's moving around as you walk on it, so it's not squeaking and cracking. Anyway, we'll catch myself later here and see where we're going. It's one of the many tools I have. It's a rabbit bit on a router to clean up any misalignments of the T&G on this old reused flooring. A couple of fat beads of construction adhesive under it. Helps keep that floor from squeaking. Nobody likes a squeaking floor. Because of the nature of this wood, it's old, it's mismilled, a lot of it. So that subfloor glue helps even out all the little problems and keep it a nice quiet floor. Well, it took 5 days, approximately 275 square feet to lay this floor. Now the fun begins. We get to sand it and put a couple, 2 or 3 coats of clear polyurethane finish on it. Again, the amount of time it takes to lay a floor from reclaimed lumber can run 2 to 3 times easily what you would get from a new floor material, all milled symmetrically. Again, because you've got so many flaws and whatnot in this floor, you've got a lot more time in sizing up every piece. Oftentimes you have to dinkerink around getting things milled correctly so the next piece fits into the previous piece. Probably triple the labor to install a floor like this, but you'll see at the end, well worth it. Okay, I'm ready to start finishing this floor, at least sanding wise. My weapons of choice here are a block plane, in this case a low angle block plane, and a half sheet sander. The reason I'm not going with something heavy duty like a regular flooring sander or a big burnishing pad is you start doing that, you're going to lose the character of this wood here with the paint nut and whatnot on it. I just want to knock down any high edges like this with this block plane, and then I'm going to go over it. I don't really want to make all this disappear. I just want to take down any sharp edges that somebody's foot is going to catch on. If the floor is a little uneven, no big deal. It's part of the character of this floor. So again, I'm going to do a lot of on my knees, hand sanding, scraping, just to knock down any high abrupt edges and get this thing ready to put a couple of coats of polyurethane on. I like this low angle block plane because you can go cross grain without tearing the wood up too bad. Do that, especially like this big high edge here. And so I do this. Again, I really don't want to take any of this off that I can help it. I've got 3 or 4 layers of paint on it. You see how that takes it off, but at the same time, my wife doesn't cotton much to getting her feet tore up as she walks across the floor. I'll take some of that off, try to leave as much as I can. And again, I won't putty this floor either, as you would a normal floor. Sanded this floor to 150 now. Vacuumed it. Now I've got a damp rag. Because this is a water-based finish, I'm going to use a damp rag and give it a wipe down, pick up any dust after vacuuming. It's ready for a final coat. Okay, I've got 3 coats of varnish down on this actually polyurethane on this floor now. The last thing to do is to come back, put the base trim in, and it'll all be buttoned up. Came out pretty nice, pretty happy with it. A lot of work. 5 days to install it, day to sand it and finish it, put the 3 coats. Luckily this new polyurethane is ultra fast drying. It's the water based, doesn't have much fumes. Anyway, came out great. Again, if you're going to consider doing a reclaimed wood floor, you can either spend $10 to $15 a square foot and you know, just have some stuff ready to install, or you can procure your own wood from whatever source and then spend the time to clean it up, mill it, whatnot, and then the time to finish it off, install it, which again is 2 to 3 times the time for, I would say, a normal floor.